Assalamu alaikum and welcome back again. Here we are with Brother Muhammad. Every Friday we are meeting up like for half an hour and 40 minutes, trying to figure out what his purpose is, what kind of path he's want to choose, and inshallah help him along the way and to make this purpose and passion into a form of prosperity so he can inshallah live his life by this purpose and passion, serve others, and at the same time make a living. And I believe, and I think Brother Muhammad also believes this is the best way to live and serving our Creator. So, having said that, welcome back, Brother Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh, brother Maruf. And
How
mashallah,
was
it's
your
really good.
week? How was your?
Alhamdulillah, so far so good. It's just like inching away. And if I can say one thing to whoever's watching this, I know, mashallah, this is a journey that we're undergoing. But if anyone here, if you can lend a helping hand or if you want to offer something, collaboration opportunities, like the door is open at this point. So it's
Absolutely, absolutely. Anybody? So we are posting this on the YouTube channel, and you can comment and like how can they reach you if they want to help you?
sure. Well, I can
Give
leave,
your email
I
or
can leave
yeah.
my email. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one way.
Yeah, one of the things we can leave the email in description, inshallah, so you can reach out and help. So our job is to help each other, right? No matter what the thing is. So if you remember, so let me share the screen where we were, right? And then we can take from there. So if you this is the one, right? So if you remember that we it's like a 7 steps, inshallah, we call it to success here and hereafter. So first weeks we discussed the purpose in general, how we serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also more specifically how Brother Muhammad wants to serve his creator, right? He wants to serve um, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by helping others, in this case Muslims, with their communication skills. And after that, we choose a path. He's going to be like creating a product, like entrepreneur, or he's going to be more professional and go be an employee, right? And as I remember last time we did this decision, he wants to go for entrepreneurship. I warned him this is not going to be easy and glory road, but it will be worth it, inshallah. So that's what we are doing. So today we are still on that stage of the product creation. So when we talk about product creation, right, we discussed now Brother Muhammad wants to be an entrepreneur. What it really means is that entrepreneurs, what they do, when most of the people see the problem in the world, they complain. Entrepreneurs is interesting. You know, there is opportunity there. If people are having problems, let me solve that and offer them in a form of solution, right? And then, so when you solve a problem, you're creating a value. When you create a value, you get a value in exchange, right? So it doesn't have to be more complicated than that. So there's a fine line. Some people focus on the end form of value, which is money. And this you have seen where it leads people just focus on the money no matter what. That's not what we want to do. At the same time, we don't want to just, we want to understand the basic principles of business, right? And the money is one of them because money is exchange and storage of value. And so at the same time, we also know that you need money to exist, you need money to live, and we don't want to ignore that either. So we want to take the middle path. We're not completely ignoring the money, and we're not all just being fall in love with the money, right? As they say, inshallah, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have the money in our hands, not in our hearts, right? So we can spend it in the best form. So why we are all tying up to the money is as the best form of value. So now with Brother Muhammad, we are trying to figure out that how can we, based on his purpose and passion, to create a value, to create a service or product, right, to the potential clients, which we don't know yet who are they, and then offer them and see if it makes sense to them. Because here, this is, I'm telling you that, alhamdulillah, I've been in the part of some startups and businesses. The most difficult part is this one, trying to create a value in the market, offer it to the clients, and making sure what you offer is valuable enough, someone is willing to pay for that, right? That's the toughest one. I mean, if you don't, I mean, you can get other parts not really good, but you can still survive as a business, right? But if you don't get this right, and the promotion doesn't matter, other parts doesn't matter, this is so crucial, right? Of course, the purpose and passion matters, but we also have to turn it into some form of value people are willing to pay, right? That's why, so you may see some people who may they have purpose and passion, but they don't know they have no idea how to turn into a product or service to offer and to make this a living, right? So that's what we want to do. So having said that, to do that, we need to know a couple of things crucially. We need to know our market, right? Whom are we serving? Does it make sense? Who are
Mhm.
our ideal clients? Number one. And
Mhm.
number two, what are their biggest problems? What are their biggest challenges, right? Number three, and not all of their problems. We're not here to solve all of their problems, right?
Mhm.
We are here to solve some of their problems which aligns with our values, right? In the best possible form, and the most affordable form, and the most enjoyable form. So then we can tell this to them, the story, and then they can relate. So example, let's say whether Muhammad, you're into communication, right? You want to offer something with really communication. We don't know what that is yet. However, imagine if you target people, let's say, who need help with accounting, right?
Right.
It will be a mismatch, right? You're not interested in accounting. You don't want to offer an accounting services, even though some people would love that. Some people are into numbers, but you're not, right? We don't want
Right.
to be in that position. Are there people who are willing to buy accounting services? Definitely. But are we after them? Not. So that will give us sometimes people ask, who are you trying to sell? How much you're trying to sell? Say, oh, everybody is my client. Or I'm trying to tell everybody. And the answer is when you're going after everybody, first of all, you have no idea what you're talking about. And secondly, you haven't really thought through. And thirdly, I guess you're going not anybody. Why? Because remember, getting someone's attention, right? Attention is a commodity, right? Getting someone's attention will cost you either your time, either money spent in advertising, right? Other ways of form. And guess what? To get everybody's attention, you had almost infinite funds. Guess what? You don't have infinite funds, right? You don't have infinite
Right.
funds. I don't have. We have all have limited funds. But the good news is, in this world we live, the limits are a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Any company in the world I know, they have a limited budget. Even Apple, trust me, even Apple has a limited budget. When they're thinking, they don't think we're going after everybody. They have going after a certain pair of people. It makes sense. They buy, they keep serving them. So let's just see it in the life as a Muslim, right? There's some people say, I want the full freedom. No, you don't. You have no idea what you really want. So but in Islam, if you follow Osman Shah's guidelines, and we call the hudud and the areas, and to live our best self as a Muslim, right? I'm just being on a tangent, but
Yeah.
I've noticed that in life that the boundaries actually very useful things. So the rules of the game, you know how to optimize it. So in our case, we have a budget, limited budget. So what's our budget? Do we have money in spending on ads? We don't, right? I mean, in your case, we don't have it. And can we still do the marketing? Yes, we can. Some people think they cannot. No, you can. How can we do that? We will use your skills, your resources, right? Mashallah, you're a good speaker, and there are so many platforms right now. There's YouTube, there's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's TikTok and Snapchat, all those things, where it's giving you a platform, a person like you to reach out with your message, right, to your potential clients. And we can use SEO tactics, like right, how to write the blog articles with the right keywords that people will find you. So what I'm saying is, there's still a chance we'll do that, no problem. It actually will help us to be a more, how to say it, to be a more frugal and mindful of with our resources. If you can work it out in these harsh conditions, when we have the money, things, trust me, things get much easier. So having said that, we need to define our audience. Okay, we need to define our audience. How would you define our audience? Let's start with that. Then we try to match it, inshallah.
Sure. So Jazakallah khair, Brother Maruf. And so one thing I took your advice to look at expert secrets, and I was looking through, there's this one gem that I thought was a nice way of looking at it. The thing is, with any business book, you pick it up, there are some things across the board, but this one, like you can always learn something. So there's this one thing that I thought was pretty cool, which is don't fix what's not working, replace what's not working with something better.
Okay.
And I thought that was interesting. Okay, so I'm like, all right, how can I apply that to the ideal target Muslim audience? So as a starting point initially, First, like in terms of demographics, Muslim, number one, because mashallah, one out of every four people around here. So it's quite a lot. But then zooming in even more, people who are interested in self-development.
Okay.
So because you don't have to convince people otherwise. But then even more zooming in, people who see not just see the value of community. I think working professionals, this is one. So people who need to climb up the corporate ladder, they need to be more visible. They feel like their community, like they're in positions where they have to give presentations all the time.
Interesting. Okay.
So those kind of folks that where they are already giving presentations. So Muslim who respect the Quran and Sunnah as well. This is another thing too, like to narrow it even
Like a more
more.
like a practicing, you mean?
Yeah, I'd say in that case, yes. I mean, practicing is one thing, but like those who, because the moment
Muslims, like you mean who care, like or like the values. They're not just by name. I mean, who actually.
yeah, I hear you. It's just like, yeah, just the idea because we're, I mean, right up front, inshallah, the point is to draw inspiration from the Quran and Sunnah. If there are Muslims who don't value the Quran and Sunnah as much, then they might value the techniques, but if they don't honor the source, might be a bit. Again, respect. Everyone has their own, but like their own thing. That's not the idea here. But just the point is for someone who really has a firm so someone who says, okay, what does the Quran and Sunnah have to offer? That's maybe another thing. Could be I don't want to say skeptical because maybe this audience, maybe a large audience, but I don't know if they'd be willing to. People who I guess people in Ramadan where they're inclined towards the Quran and this and they're learning, their hearts are softening up a bit. So they're like, okay, listening to the Quran is great, mashallah, getting reward and thawab is nice. But how do I use it? Like I want to be able to take this information and not just listen to it and benefit. So those folks who are interested in saying, hey, look, I want to be a living, breathing example of, of that. So
What you mean is that so they don't look at the Islam as like a set of rituals, but they want to deal it as a spiritual elements. They want to actually live it and wisdom, not just by the name, but actually they want to go deep.
So now the little caveat here, because the thing is that on there's a large sea of folks who fall into that first category you mentioned, where they look at Islam as just a set of rituals. They are looking. So I'm wondering, Brother Maruf, maybe a real quick question here to maybe see if we can steer in the right direction. Would it be wise to not necessarily convince, but to say, hey, look, you're probably skeptical about the Quran and the Sunnah. You probably look at it like you're praying 5 times a day, or prayer is just a routine, or fasting is just a routine. It's a diet. It's just something to lose weight. What if I were to tell you that it's more than that? And then addressing that. Is that a good approach? Because a huge chunk of Muslims who may have that belief about the Quran and Sunnah as just being a set of rituals, or is it better to just simply say, you know what, if that's what you believe, that's fine. I'm just going to focus on the people who already believe that the Quran and Sunnah is for our daily life. What would you say is
at this point, based on the resources we have, I mean, in this endeavor, I would say go for the low-hanging fruits. There's something called that in the business, right? We're not trying to, because I think the people that try to need convincing the Quran and Sunnah is a solution may take some more time convincing, right? But on the other hand, there are maybe fewer, but there are already people who already, okay, we got it. We know this Quran Sunnah. But what they may not know is the connection, how the communication skills you're going to teach is going to come. And so what you're trying to do, as you said, let's go back to what you said, that what you learned from the expositors, do not try to fix what's broken. Right? In their mind, it's always broken. It doesn't make sense. Instead, try to offer a new insight, offer a new solution, right?
Yeah.
In a new way, say, aha, that's what it is.
So exactly. So that's to not fix what's not working, replace what's not working with something better. So let's pause for a second and say, okay, what's already existing? Well, okay, let's look at it with this target demographic. Let's just say Muslim family. Let's say 35-year-old Muslim male working at a Fortune 500 company, and he's trying to give presentations and he's stumbling over his words. He's making a fool out of himself inadvertently. He's not trying to, he just doesn't have the tools. So what would they suggest to him? they probably say, hey, go corporate training, right? Go to Toastmasters or go to Dale Carnegie's Institute.
Mhm.
I'll pay for it, like whatever, a package. Well, we have it in our budget, for training and corporate training. We want you to be a better speaker. Just go to that.
Okay,
Okay. So
that's one way.
now that's
Mhm.
one way people might fix the problem. How do you fix a problem with communication? So that's one thing. Another thing, yeah, they're hiring a speaking coach.
Okay.
That's another way. So they're saying, hey, I need one-on-one kind
Yep.
of guidance.
Yep.
So that's another way. So now so now the question is, what do they have? Why is it? Maybe the thing is, folks who are really serious about their deen and they're like, I don't feel as close to the deen as much as I could, right? I want something more that it's like a 2-for-1 deal, right? I learn about communication strategies and at the same time, I'm getting closer to my deen and exciting more and like, hey, what else does the Quran have to offer? Or what else does the Sunnah have to offer?
Okay.
Satiate that need. Is that because techniques is the same, it's universal.
Mm.
What are you going to do? Stand up, use your posture, make sure you breathe, this is all this universal. So I'm trying to think, replace what's not working with something better. So now,
Let's go back to the core value, like core issue. Why do you think people stumble upon? Why do people maybe, but that person, that specific person, let's say 35-year-old male Muslim at the corporate trying to give a presentation, why do you think he's stumbling or he's shy, whatever? What do you think that is?
okay,
What's the core
because yeah,
issue?
core issue is not trained, not practiced
Okay.
at all. So it hasn't been important throughout the life. You just had to give presentation once in a blue moon, once in
Mhm.
class. Along your way, you can probably get away with just sitting in the back of the class and as university or college, what have you, and you don't have to give as many presentations. It's a muscle that's not worked out.
Okay.
So that's one thing. If you versus somebody who from day one is constantly giving, it's like Tiger Woods, right? Like he was, I think since he was 3, he's been golfing. So
Mhm.
you know what I mean? So I think
Okay.
that's one solid. So it's almost like, it's almost like an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. If you started practicing public speaking when you were a kid, you're going to be much better shape. You're going to be more comfortable. But let's just say someone who's 35, I've never given a speech that many times before. It's almost like unusual. So I have to patch it up. I need a fix, like a quick fix, a diet pill as opposed to diet, right? So
Mm, I see.
that's yeah.
I see. Is it also possible that these people sometimes they may see, especially come from Muslim background, they may see speaking and like much more like in Islam it's like there's this thing like you don't want to boast about yourself, what you do. You may have
Sure.
some complexities and maybe misunderstood that and say maybe if I speak I don't want to like do like a riyah, to show off,
Sure.
the way I
Yeah.
do. And then what you can say, look, is that true though? So you can go back and say, well, what does Islam and the Sunnah, what is the role like? What does it mean? What does it mean to be a leader in this day and age as a Muslim? And what is the fine line? You can be a leader still not to show off, like in this Instagram age, right? Everybody's trying to, most of the people that
Yeah.
they want to show off like they are eating and they're doing like they think they're celebrities, everything they do. The question is, how do you differentiate what is the line and how to stay true to yourself as a Muslim, even as a being a leader, even giving a speech, by learning the best practice from Quran and Sunnah, yet still instead of being shy and trying to know what it is, like trying to manipulate, you actually truly shine. And once you clear your intention, once you do it proper way, it doesn't have to sound awkward, right? It doesn't have to like too much that someone's trying to sell you something. But actually it should come from
Yeah.
your true self, right? Could it be? So what I'm saying is that there could be so many things, like because the thing
Yeah.
is, if you look at it, sometimes everybody can fix that. That you don't have a business because there are other businesses who are spending a lot of money, like Toastmasters, others that people know that they can send. However, in business, there's something called, Brother Muhammad, the blue ocean and red ocean. Have you heard about them?
SubhanAllah, as just before this meeting, I just came across that book. I heard about something called Blue Ocean. I was like, what's this? It's a fame. Yeah, please tell me. Like, there's something about.
So the blue ocean and red ocean, the way it works is that it's like a market. If you think you're in the same market like Toastmasters, you are toasted because
Yeah.
Toastmasters has been for many, many
Yeah.
years. You cannot like they know everybody knows them. However, if you say, okay, I'm not in the same market as Toastmasters, in the general themes, yes, but my target audience is different. If you say my target audience who is a Muslim male or female who needs help aligning his values or her values from Islam and to be confident in his deen, in his work, and I am the guy. And Toastmaster doesn't teach that. Toastmaster may take techniques. Toastmaster teach you like how to be confident, but I'm gonna go beyond. I'm gonna tailor it for you as a Muslim identity, right? You just make the Toastmaster irrelevant. Question does make
Right.
sense. So if you would say, oh, I'm going to teach anybody who's after Toastmasters, it's a red ocean. Forget about it. You are a tiny fish. There are huge whales in the market. They will eat up everybody. Instead, you say, look, that's not my market. My market is this small pond where Toastmaster doesn't even fit. It doesn't make sense for them. However, for them, for this market, this is called niche, right? This is my niche. I'm gonna dominate that niche. Only in the niche, as a small company, you can win the big guys.
Yeah.
You cannot win the ocean, though. You cannot win whale in the ocean, but in the pond, yeah, it doesn't even want to go there. It doesn't even make sense to him. But for you, it's good enough to start with, right? It's good enough to that's your blue ocean. And that one, you don't have. There are no sharks. There are no whales, right? You be the biggest fish. As far as I know, I don't. Maybe there are, but I don't know any other communication coaches or experts who are doing this, right? For the Muslims, maybe they are. I don't know. So suddenly, for the Canadian Muslims at least, you can be that guy. You know what I mean?
Makes
Suddenly,
sense.
like the same way, like as I was explaining to you with the marketing, right? The halal ad. When we started, we could have said, "Oh, we are a marketing agency for everybody. Just come, everybody will do everything," and nobody would come. No one wouldn't care, right? Because we know that there are huge agencies, Ogilvy and other guys, who are serving billions of dollars of clients. And why would someone a tiny agency would come? No, we said from the learn marketing lessons we learned, okay, look, this not our fight. That's the red ocean. Instead, let's see who are in the market, who are in the market. How can we serve that? Is there a way that we can create our own market where other guys are relevant and where we can become one of the dominant players, right? And when we
Right.
were looking at what we are, who we are, what we believe in, we were saying is we are Muslims. We have Muslim values. When we even in marketing, so halal as a term is not just the meat or the food we eat, right? It goes beyond that. And we said, okay, halal also media we consume. So why don't we focus on the marketing and help Muslim advertisers, companies, and brands to reach out to other Muslims. And because there were, as I told you before, we had the ad network. People were coming already telling us that's the issue. Can you help us with the marketing? We say, you know what? Why don't you go others? And they say we tried. They don't understand our market. They don't understand the values. And we said, okay, that's it. What we're gonna do. You see, what I'm saying is that it's based on the need, right? So our value was very, very clear as a Muslim agencies. We said, okay, look, we know you're a Muslim entrepreneur, a company. You have a product for Muslims, right? What we do is we even in specific, we help you to reach out to close to 2 billion Muslims online efficiently, effectively via online ads like Facebook and Instagram and Apple or Google. Not only that, we also help you we set up the tracking tools, and we also tell you for every dollar you're spending how much you're making. Does it make sense? So it's very transparent, not like you go to a newspaper, you go to a website, pay this $1,000 and hope it's going to work out, right? We said
Right.
we got to do that. So you will see everything with transparency. But we also said we should also come up with a plan and see what will be the ideal thing for you to have, in business, something called return on investment. Whenever you pay something to $1, how much are you getting back? So we said, we discuss every client we take on, we always discuss what is your best return on investment. Because sometimes people come to, oh, Omar, we want to run ads and we want to try for 1 month and we'll see how it works. It's like, no, no, no. So hold on. What is it? What is the goal? How do we know it works? Do you know? We don't know. We'll see. No, no. If we don't know right now, we'll not know in a month. We have to define the goals clearly. So the way it works for us, if it's e-commerce, we say, okay, sometimes people do not know, Brother Mohammed. They have no idea actually. Then we say, okay, we will help you. What is how much profit you are making when every time you are selling? They say, oh, I'm making 50%. Okay. So if you sell $10, you're making $5? Yes. Okay. Can we agree on spending, let's say, 10 to 20% of that into marketing? So yeah, okay, I can still make 30%. Good. So if you bring a sale, right? If you spend $2, if you bring a $1, one sale, which is equal to $10, are you happy? So, yeah, yeah, yeah. I can take this deal any time of the day. Does it make sense? It's so clear. It's so precise. You know what you're getting into, right? So, okay, then they say, okay, Maruf, here's $2,000. Now generate $10,000 sales to us, right? As agency. That's what we do. Okay, we get to 2,000. We try to generate in a month 10,000. Does it work all the time? No, it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't. And we have to be honest, right? We are a marketing agency. We don't make magic. What we do is, if the product market fit is good already, we'll amplify that, right? Even just in February, we did an example, one of the shops we're working on, we are helping them like to 10x. We just 10x their sales with the marketing. We just spent probably 1,000, they're getting 10,000 sales, right? That's a good deal. So after the month, they say, oh, it was a good deal. Yeah, it is a good deal because now we know it was a good deal. If you would spend 2,000, get 10,000 it was. Now we spend only 1,000, you are happy. And what I'm saying is, once you specify clear problem to a specific audience, in our case, our target audience in Halal, I'm telling you, Muslim businesses, entrepreneurs, they have an idea, a product or service, right? Coming and promote it to the Muslim audience, right? And some of them they're already selling. If some of them already not selling, just an idea, we always tell them to go back and do it and come back. Because right now we're spending money, doesn't make sense. You spend, you have no idea if you make it or not. If you're selling, at least begin to sell a couple of items per day, it's easier for us to make the 5 sales to 50 sales. It's easier than to make 0 to 1, 0 to 5. It's so difficult, I'm telling you, right? That's why what we are learning here, the product market fit, it's something called, it's so crucial in any business. If you can figure this out, everything inshallah later on will fall into place. So as you can see from the example, we have a specific audience, Muslim business owners, not Muslims in general, not even Muslims who care, yeah, Muslim business owners, right? Who need help to grow their company via digital ads, right? So if they have the problem, and the next criteria for us is, okay, we are agency, our fees are expensive. You should be probably making at least 5, ideally 10K at least month per sale. So you can justify we come on board because we have monthly fees and we'll help you to grow. If you're making $500 and you've come to us, it doesn't make sense because our fees is a couple of thousand. It doesn't make sense, right? Unless you have already budget and you're okay anticipating, I'm not gonna make it's okay, I have to invest. So you see, the much more clear we have, the better our communication is. Even someone tells us, I'm not making sales, we just don't even have a meeting. We say, maybe it's not the best. Why? I'm not gonna waste your time or our time if you don't have making sales, right? So what I'm saying is that, why am I telling all the story is that it's very clear, right? Where we're after Muslim business owners who are making at least 10K sales per month and you want to grow. It's very, not everybody falls into that. Maybe like if 10 people reach out to us, maybe 2, 3 of them are like that. And we talk to them and we help them and guide them. So what I'm saying is, how can we apply the same rule to you in your business? How do we have a clear picture? Trust me, it's not easy. It took us years to understand who these people are. What I'm saying is, but we can start the process. And when we can ask you as okay, what is that thing we are after? I mean, what is the customer we're after? They have a desire, they have this problem they want to solve that much, and you are the only guy who can do that. Almost only guy. We are redefining the market, we are redefining the need, we are redefining the audience. So as a result, you are almost the best candidate. So what I mean is that right now, if you go now in a Muslim marketing agency or Muslim advertising agency, we are one of the very, very few in the world. Alhamdulillah, we have been working the last 8 years in the world who have experience. We can actually work with we still work with a lot of clients and bring results, right? So our market is very defined. Question is, how can we take that and apply to what you're doing? Does it make sense, Brother Mohammed?
Makes sense. Jazakallah khairan. Yeah, so I'm thinking, and mashallah, very inspiring. And like you said, there's a lot of scar tissue that goes into entrepreneurship. Again, I'm going into this eyes wide open. It's not going to be money falling from the sky or prosperity just like that at your doorstep. It's going to be a process. But what I can say is I have some data, like I have some
Mhm.
things to look back on. Maybe we can
Exactly.
piece it together, hopefully
Sure.
right now.
Sure.
So as a starting point, Masha, we did the communication boost. I remember making it 30 people, $30 on January 30th. So alhamdulillah, we had a very small minority. I was like, all right, cool. At least we got some folks.
Yep.
So the demographics of the people who did attend, uh, one of them was working in an accounting firm. So a young Muslim brother. So that's that. And he was looking to boost his communication skills with his colleagues and as he's talking to clients. So that's one. Second person was also he was working, and this is also for his colleagues, like he was also in that work environment and wanting to improve, and he said like he had problems. He thought like he was stuttering a lot, stammering a lot, wasn't really clear on being on the fly. So there was that component. So again, work environment. The other person as well who attended was he was a he was a student, but he was in the, I believe, paramedic field. So he was on the verge of, being a professional, but he was still a student. So it's like, so far, that's what I've attracted that actually, paid, which is great. So that's one thing. So it looks like that the Muslim young professionals who are looking, it looks like they're just starting their business,
Mm.
which is nice. Now, that was just an experiment. The other component that I found that I seem to attract, and when I did the free events, was about parents, how to talk to their teenagers so they would listen. So for parents, how do I communicate with my teen? I'm just not getting through to them. And I think the other appeal, one thing I've noticed, Pod, I just remembered there was a comment that was very interesting, which is that I don't want to, maybe the imam or the sheikh is out of reach. And let's just say the teenager is not really, it's hard to get through to them,
Can connect to them. Can connect them.
can't connect with them. So I seem to be acting as like some sort of buffer. It looks like
You're the
people.
bridge.
I'm the yeah. So there's the imam, the shiuk, the mashallah, and then you have the regular folks, and like it seems like I'm in the middle. Like I'm kind of like that bridge between, hey, regular society and the shiuk. So it looks like people look. So when I say, hey, Quran and Sunnah, how can I? It's almost like you're getting that Islamic knowledge, but it's not from the source of, let's say, a sheikh or imam. So that's why I
But they
make it
so
a bunch.
they don't look as, oh yeah, of course he's imam, he can say that. But when you say, it doesn't have to be from
Just
imam. Like
uh,
you're like approachable. Is that correct?
it looks like they look at as I'm just a brother trying to share reminders,
Mm,
offering some perspective, take it or leave it. There's no fatwas, and I make it abundantly clear, like
mm.
that's out of my realm of expertise. But it looks like maybe that area could be something where people might be looking for that. They're saying, hey, you know what, imam and sheikh is one thing, mashallah, we respect and honor, and they have their rightful place in society.
Sure.
And at the same time, you have the lay person who doesn't know that much, which is hard to get a hold, but like you need someone who's in the middle. So I'm thinking in terms of positioning, that's one area. It's like, hey, I'm not a sheikh, but I'm not just a guy who's just a guy, right? So I'm kind of in the middle. So I think, does that help at least?
Yeah, on the positioning it might, but on your target audience, I'm seeing two patterns. One is the business people, right, who are reaching out
Yeah,
to you. They are mostly brothers, right? No any
mostly
sisters.
brothers. No,
Okay, okay,
no,
fair enough, fair enough.
yeah.
It makes sense as well. On the other end, you said the Muslim parents.
Parents, yeah, that's another
Yeah.
big one. Yeah,
So whether the Muslim mom or Muslim dad?
mom.
Muslim mom, son, was moms care a lot. And and
Uh,
and did they bring their son or daughter with them or no?
for this particular one, like it was their son. No, no, like for the paramedic, it was a referral from a mom, like signed up for her son. So the
Mm,
son, it was like on behalf.
okay.
That's one thing. Yeah. So not like together. So
Mm.
it's just, hey, it's almost like here. It's
Is it?
almost like a class. Yeah.
I mean, if it was paramedic, my question was that what the mom was saying, I cannot get along with my son or help my son to become a better.
Help my son become better.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I see the value in your services,
Okay,
and
okay, okay.
so
I mean, were there any parent that came to you that I cannot talk to my kids? Can you help me?
when I gave that one event, like for how to talk to your teenagers, well, listen, the closest thing I got to that was one sister. Um, she was saying that she had a very hard time she had personal circumstances, and
Hmm.
she's saying her son was like kind of being, I think, more distant. So there's that component where because of internal family circumstances, she had trouble reaching out. Like the son, like the bond wasn't. She says he's very religious, mashallah, he's praying, and this it's just like the relationship wasn't
Hmm.
100% like the community. So
I'm
there
just
was
thinking
that.
more like it's something, there's a term called mediator or something like this, right? In the
Yeah.
middle. So, I mean, was she open? Like, if you say, look, this usually communication is on both sided, would you be open to come to the session with your
I did. I
son?
think I offered. Yeah, I
Yeah,
offered it, but haven't heard back. So I was like,
I
all
see.
right, well, it was probably a one and done sort of
I
thing.
see.
But yeah, that's the
I
thing. I
see.
guess
Okay.
that was the closest thing at that
Okay.
point. But
Because you see, the when you offer yourself, I'm like, I'm gonna show you how is one thing, but it seems that sometimes if you're mediator, sometimes mediator becomes almost like a very crucial thing. Because if someone has a conflict and this, they say they need a mediator, not like they want, but they need. Coach, maybe it's there's another thing I want to share with you is that there's in business there's this vitamin and the aspirin. Do you know the difference? The you know what aspirin? I think that maybe I come from Europe. We call aspirin. Aspirin is something you take when you have a headache.
like Tylenol, I guess, is the equivalent
Exactly,
these days. Yeah.
Tylenol or
Okay.
vitamin. So you know the difference between Tylenol and the vitamin, right? Tylenol you take it when you have a real problem,
Yeah.
right? You don't take it just when you're everything is fine. You take it when you have a headache. You have a
Hmm.
problem, you want a migraine, or you want to get rid of it, right? That's almost unavoidable. You got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
And then and the vitamin is something different. You don't take vitamin because when you have a headache, you take vitamin to prevent something in the future,
Right.
right? You would take vitamin to be vital. You're keeping in shape. You're getting all the things you need. You're more like a long term thing. Humans are not really good long term thinkers. Okay,
Right.
even though we all should take vitamin, probably 1% of the population take vitamin. Because why? Because we don't see the problem right in front of eyes, right?
Yep.
We see it sometime in the future. That's how we are. Even though it's not the best thing for us, but that's how we are. On the other hand, though, um, like if you have a headache, if you have this Tylenol home and this thing that takes your pain away, you take it, don't you? Like why would you suffer? Or sometimes what the marketers do, they take it even further. Like they say, not a headache. Imagine you have a cut, you're bleeding. You have to put a plaster. You have to go to the doctor. It's almost life and death situation, right? So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, whenever we are like doing the whatever this offer we're gonna make, we can do two things. We can position as a vitamin, or we can position as a Tylenol. Which one would you do? The marketing example I've given you is not a vitamin, it's a Tylenol. Why?
Yep.
Because they are doing the sales, right? They need to grow because they know that every business should grow. Every person should grow. You grow or you die. If you
Yeah.
just stay in the 1,000 mark or 10,000 mark, eventually your competition will take over, right? And the question, they know that, and we are giving them exactly formula with the advertising. We're saying, look, you're spending $1, you're getting $5 back. It's a good deal, right? Or $1, $3 is a good deal. They know it's a good deal. The only thing they have to invest now is just put the money to test it for 30 days. If it works, they keep on doing that. And we have clients who are doing this for years now. If it doesn't work, they can say, okay, we tried, it didn't work. That's okay, right? So what I'm saying is, it's almost we position what we offer as a Tylenol. Like you have a problem, you want to grow. Online marketing is like they say, we tried. Can we try as well? I know you tried. Or they say we tried influencers. Okay, but it's not influencer. This is a digital performance-based marketing. Try this for a month and you can decide, right? So what I'm saying is, this what we offer, we do as a Tylenol. So question for you is, which one you want to do? You want to offer it as a vitamin? It will be very difficult to sell as a vitamin.
No, no. I have an idea though. I think,
Go
Masha,
ahead.
as you're talking here, start with the aspirin, but continue with the vitamin. I
Okay,
think
fair
that's much
enough.
more
Yeah, no,
effective.
fair enough.
I think that's much more effective. Like, okay,
Absolutely.
put out the fire first, and then okay, what do I do next? Okay, here's what you can
Upsell.
continue.
You can upsell other things. So the question is exactly. So you see, is a why? Because as a business, you have to generate revenue. If you don't generate revenue, you're not a charity, right? And even
Yeah.
charity needs to generate revenue, otherwise you don't exist, right?
Mm,
Remember, the money is like you are in a car, you're going to a place, it's like a gas. You need a gas to drive the car. Even
Right.
you can say electricity car, you still need energy, right? You always need energy to move forward.
Right.
Without that, you cannot move forward. So uh, I agree with you. We have to come up with a aspirin slash Tylenol solution. So I
Yeah.
want you to brainstorm to come back. What are the things you can offer? Not to everybody, to a specific audience. You are solving a specific problem they cannot avoid, and you are the clear. I wouldn't say you're the only one, but you are the clear in that situation. You are the clear and easy choice for them to make to get there. That is the thing we need to solve, right? If you can solve that, inshallah, things get easy.
Right. That's the plan. Now, all right, inshallah. Like that's the idea. So in summary that we talked about again, must target Muslim. So come up with the aspirin, Tylenol. What's that biggest pain point? We went back to the 6 human needs and all that, but I think the 6 human needs. This is like for our end, like the back end. No,
They
it's not
don't
like
know it. Most people don't know what
they
these needs
won't they
are.
won't know what
But
they're
if you
talking.
know what these needs are, if you tie, I'll give you another thing. If you solve one core issue so good, it's good. But if you connect two or three, you become almost irreplaceable.
Hmm. So the key is how many of those 6 human needs that I can hit
Yeah.
human needs as much as possible. So like what was it? It was about certainty, uncertainty, uh,
Significance, love,
love,
connection,
growth,
uh, growth,
and
and
contribution.
giving. Yes, giving.
Yeah, contribution. Hmm. Right off the bat, if like in the few more minutes that we have here, I'm thinking like for the teenagers, I like for the parents, it makes sense. Like, hey, look, the that ship is sailing, right? If you don't finish or if you're not able to connect with them now.
Hold on. Before you go to parents, parents shouldn't be that not the target market. Just go back to the your primary
Okay,
audience.
sure. So let's go with
Professionals, Muslim professionals. What are the
mm,
needs you are checking?
so okay, for Muslim professionals, I'm going for certainty. That means like you're confident walking into any situation that like no matter what the outcome is, you're gonna be fine. I
Sure.
think that like you're commanding the room, like you come in prepared. When someone comes in prepared, I'm sure Masha Brother Maruf, you can relate. Like when you go into a presentation on point, they cross all the T's and dot the I's, totally different versus somebody who's like scrambling for their notes and even their body language, you can tell they're not grounded in certain, even in their voice, it's
Yep.
their breath. So we agree. So maybe so certainty is one, definitely. I would say that for that Muslim brother or sister, that you're certain about your message and you're certain that even you get the deal, you don't get the deal, everything's going to be fine.
Okay. What
Okay,
else?
so significance, what I do matters. So that's one. So let me write it down. So significance, so certainty, significance, because what I do, one of the worst things, I remember there was this line, I forgot where it's from, but they said it's hard to do your job when you don't feel appreciated for it.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of times when we're a small cog in a large machine, people, they think I'm just a number, somebody will lay you off and like whatever, see you later, pink slip, and then you're off. And it's like what like you people like to feel like I'm important and special, especially in what I gave the example of Fortune 500.
Hmm.
Well, inshallah start smaller, but everyone wants to feel seen. Even in a small business, a no name brand, no name small startup, people like to feel like, hey, what I'm doing is actually making a difference. Hey, when I had that phone call with that person and they cracked a joke with me, I made them feel better. Hey, it makes me feel good, right? I feel good when they feel good. Or when I smiled at that person at the reception, then that's great. Like these little things add up.
Hmm.
So significance is a big one. Certainty is another one. Love, I don't know, like love,
Love
maybe
is love. It's love. Love and connection.
love and
Love,
connection.
love,
Okay,
connection.
sure. So connection, sure. I'm trying to think of, yeah. So that reminds me of another thing. Real quick, if I can just circle back for a moment on expert secrets. One interesting thing that it said was when people are making a position, if we're talking about 6 human needs, he's like the core thing, like the one thing that people always ask themselves inadvertently in his mind, it's significance, but he's saying status. So he's like, will it increase or decrease my status in society, right? Or wherever you are. So clearly, if you're a good communicator, you're going to go up, right? So increasing. So love and connection, maybe you can make better connections with higher ups, like more connections with people, you know, and Spawn and the Dean. I'm just going back to, for a second, like the Dean Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he connected with the top and the bottom. Like he was, you know, Spawn, he can talk with the rulers, and he's good with the folks who you don't even know their names, right?
Mm.
So connection, you're able to connect with anyone, you're able to get along with people. So certainty, significance, connection, growth, I think as well, because if you're able to grow, if you're able to communicate something effectively, you position yourself, or you're able to present an idea, man, and that idea takes off, man, that's really gonna, it's all because of your words, the way you got, like, how did Tesla start? He, like, Elon Musk didn't just, you know, just lie down, and if you didn't verbalize it, like he, Spala.
Actually, Elon Musk bought the company from someone else. Many people don't know that.
Oh, tell me real quick, what about it?
No, read
You
about it.
bought it?
No, he bought it. Yeah, yeah. He co-founded. Then the other guy went out. It was not his original idea. He's an investor.
Oh, no
He got
way.
his money from PayPal. Yeah, he invested some other SpaceX and Tesla. And but he's right now ambassador of Tesla. But he was not the guy who invented the car. But he's the guy who is taking it to the next step. Right?
So he just took it and ran with it. So there are some people, that's a good point, Sapan. There are some people I heard about, like in businesses, that there are some people who just start something from the ground up, and then there's some people who just take an idea and know how to run with it. Like some
Yep.
people, they don't know how to, they have, they're sitting on a gold mine, but they don't know how to use it. But
Yeah,
there's some
I just
people,
don't want to take any credit from Elon Musk. I mean, he's a good
yeah, yeah,
entrepreneur, does a lot of things, but I'm just, it's the fact that it is, because he didn't think of like, okay, I'm going to create the electronic car and there's no. Yeah, but anyway, it doesn't take any credit. Like, but maybe
right,
if
right,
like
right.
if he didn't do that, that company would have never heard of, right?
Exactly. And
There's so many
so
companies, but electric companies in the world we never heard of. But Tesla is here, right? Tesla, we can hear because it goes to his marketing and sales and communication skills, right?
because he was able to yeah, you're right. So regardless of how you acquired it, if he, whether he built it himself or he bought it from someone, at the end of the day, because he was able to, he has a vision.
He
He's
built a
like, look,
team. He built a team. He moved it. He made probably improved that original car maybe 1,000 times. Trust me. The original Tesla, I remember, I used to work in Denmark. It's like a Tesla Roadster. It was a very expensive car, high-end car, electric car, but you cannot afford it. And then he launched a Tesla S, and now Tesla 3 is almost affordable, 35,000, right?
yeah, so it's within, it's within reach. And
Yeah.
so that's where community, so growth can come into play. And then contribution, I don't want to maybe complicate things, but it
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
like
yeah,
you're
yeah,
gonna,
yeah. You don't have to hit all, but like I think
yeah,
you hit the nail, like safety, because you want to feel grounded and safe whenever they speak
okay,
with confidence, right? Confidence goes back to safety. Number two,
significance,
significance is number one. Why? Because not because you want to build, but you feel like you are begin to matter. You feel like you are communicating your way, your meaning, and it's taking a shape or form, right? Number three, connection. Not
yeah,
love, probably connection. What you are connecting with the people in a way. You know, communication is a connection, isn't it? You, yeah, part of the communication with you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but part of it is also with other people. You are actually improving your connection. If you're a good communicator, you're a good connection. Trust me.
you know, I'll tell you a quick story about that. I saw this online. There's this one guy, apparently he's not good at any technical stuff. Like this guy is just not good at any technical things. The only thing he's good at is talking with people and making them feel good. And so Sapal, this guy is in the company, has no technical now. Don't ask him to do anything but that. But this guy knows how to
He's a
make everyone.
connector.
He's
He's a
he's good
connector.
at making, so
People are
the, of
called
course,
connectors like this, called connectors. They connect you.
Paula, it's amazing. So like that's a worthwhile. So if you're like, oh, I don't know how to, let's say, work in IT, I don't have all the technical hard skill or how to. If you mastered this soft skill, it's a big problem, because imagine you have an angry customer right in front of your face. Who wants to deal with that? But if you know how to deal with it, if you're a good communicator, if you're like, okay, let's calm down, let's hash it out, and then you win them over. Oh man, that's a big. This is something that's invaluable. Not everyone can do this,
Mhm.
turning someone like that into someone that's in your favor. And then
Yep.
last thing was growth. So okay, I'm just thinking that, so those are the needs. Inshallah, I'll come up with, I guess it's like this is the situation you are right now. You want to stay this way, like if you're like you want to keep fumbling with your words, you want to keep shaking in your boots, you want to keep running away from presentation opportunities, you know, the choice is yours. Or, you know, it doesn't have to be this way. You know, it can be, if you just go through Training, just like working out, right? You're happy with your body, fine. But if you want to be better and more healthy and look better, you can work out and you have to go through that process. And so that's the equivalent I'm trying to make it. Now the only issue, Brother Maruf, before we go, how much more time? I want to respect your time here. If you're, are you good or are you?
So we do have 5-10 minutes.
Okay, sure. I just want to make sure that. Let me know if you
I've
like
been looking
any,
for a quote for you.
because I'm thinking like Spala, like just we come up with the perfect person and like, oh, okay, this is the individual, mashallah, young Muslim entrepreneur, middle-aged Muslim entrepreneur, somebody who's saying, I'm struggling with presentations and I want to get closer to the deen. All right, Mohammed, let's do it. Karam, let's go all the way. My only question is that like, man, I know the irresistible offer. Are they willing to spend? Like, I'm thinking, are they willing to spend on something like this? And the easiest way to know that is what do they already spend on? Like, what are they already going for? Clearly, for any organization, they need marketing. Okay, it's a no-brainer. But for this, they also have corporate training, but this is like 50-50. Even then, they're like on the fence. They might think,
Hmm.
oh, it's a great training for one day, but how do I know it's not tangible enough? That's my only concern. I'm thinking to myself, like, that's all I'm thinking. Like, how do you reassure them that, look, if you're able to practice, you got the tools, you got the skills that I can teach you, not just teach you, but
I want to share something with you. Hold on, because I was looking at this quote. I think it makes so much sense. I think what we're trying to do is like, remember, we're trying to tell people something different, right? Because remember, whenever you're doing something, you need to bring something to the market that makes sense, like something is different, right? And one of the in the experts as well. So this is a quote from Steve Jobs. So he says, "Life can be much more broader once you discover one simple fact. That is that everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you, and you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use." So why we're bringing this quote, how is relevant is this: every potential customer you have, they have their own worldview, right? Their perspective about the world. Why they may be not better communicators, maybe they are limited beliefs, right? You don't know,
yeah.
whatever the things they have. So this quote really reminds me is that once you understand everything around you, because we live a life like, okay, someone that is, we are just a small cog, we are this and that, right? You want to redefine their worldview, right? You have to, like, this pen, right? This dress, this is everything we see around is made up by someone. In this, yeah, it's made up. But what I'm saying is, it's act of creation, right? Creating, manufacturing something. Why am I going with this is that, as a human being, right? If you go back to the core, remember, each of us do matter, right? With our own things. But to do that, you have to be aware of who you are, truly who you are. How are you gonna change the world? Like in this case, let's say, and your question will be, how is the communication make make a role in this, all of the things?
Right. How can communication be a part of your world? And like, so now, oh man, I
So
think the absence, yeah,
yeah, exactly. It's not something. If you think teaching someone how to speak better,
that's not
that's
my point.
okay. That's not the
Yeah.
point. The point is how to teach someone impact the world, right? Make things better. That's the ultimate thing. Do you want to matter? You remember that we're going back. So there was this one salesperson I remember. Um, I think that Zigzilla used to sell this. He was one of the best salesperson. He used to sell soap, just soap.
Soap. Okay, sure.
Yeah, soap. And one of the people asked his secret. You know how you are the best seller. Just a soap. Everybody is the same commodity. He said, when I go to my clients, I'm not selling soap. I'm selling health, cleanliness, better hygiene. Do you understand? He redefined that thing. Question is, how can you redefine the communication? Not this communication. What is it? It's a better life. It's get everything you want in life. Influence, respect, certainty. You know what I mean? Like if you
Mm.
look at it, it's like, why do we have a conflict in the world? Like right now, we are having a war. Why do we, most of the wars and this, why do we have this? Because of communication. 90% of the time, maybe even more, is a communication. Because of that, we have a conflict.
Mm.
90%.
Inshallah, khair. I know. I mean, when I say inshallah that we will find something, I'm just taking something intangible and making it tangible. That's the hardest thing. Like this is
Oh,
what a world. I mean, like I know people can do it. I know it because Toastmasters can do it.
and you can do it as well.
I know. I know. Inshallah, with Allah.
That's why I shared the quote. Toastmasters were
Yeah,
done by people no smarter than you. Once you understand the simple fact, your life
yeah.
will never be the same again. But it's time. It
SubhanAllah.
takes some time. It takes some time.
All right, I'll find that aspirin. I'll
Yeah,
find it.
find the aspirin, weed aspirin. That's something we're gonna. So that's something we're gonna end today. And I know
Mm.
it took a bit longer, but I think it was good because these are the difficult conversations you gotta have. It's honest and it's not easy. But inshallah, once you understand your aspirin, there will be people who have a lot of headaches. Okay.
MashaAllah.
Assalamu
All
alaikum.
right. Wa alaikum assalam, brother Maruf.